Hey, what's up, YouTube? And
TikTok.
Don't stop. Hey, my name is Pt1, and I'm here with
Damon, Ousley.
and we just two brothers having a raw conversation.
Well, this topic is about married versus single over 50.
Married for over 50. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. I'm 54 and he's 52. He's been, how long you been married to me?
I'm married 30 years. I've been with my wife for, 29. I've been with her for 33 years.
And I've been single for that long. I was married to at 20. I got married at 19 and divorced at 21. So I don't count that. It was a mistake I made. You know, we were young. It was.
The mistake he made.
I realized that it was a mistake and knew I couldn't be a husband. I got married because, well, long story. Anyway, so we had a child. We ended up having two, but the second one came out the divorce. The reason I got divorced because I knew forever wasn't part of what I wanted to be a part of, not with her. So I've been living my life as a single man since then. You know, I date, but I'm single, but I date. B, on the other hand, his perspective is a whole lot different from mine.
Again, so I met my wife. We were both 19 years old. We met in college, and we've been together since. This was in 1989, and we have 3 children together. And so, you have two perspectives, right? You have one from a married man, and you have one from a brother who's single and living his best life. So we're gonna dive into some conversations about married versus single, and we're gonna keep it real.
Well, he might get in trouble because he's still married right now.
I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm bringing an honest perspective. The first thing is marriage. For our demographic, for 50 and up, it's the highest divorce rate. So more couples get divorced in the 50s than they do. And so there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is most of the time, most of the children are out in the home. And now it's just you and that person. It's no more excuses. It's no more soccer practice, baseball practice, ballet, football. It's you and her. And how you have to redefine your relationship and your marriage if you're gonna make it past that. Because there's no more bullshit. There's no more, I got something to do. In the beginning of the marriage, the goal is raising the children. Well, once that's done, then the goal has to refocus to you and her. And that's a problem for a lot of couples once they hit that 30 year or they're in their 50s. And some men don't talk about that. I'm talking about body size, changes physically and mentally. These things add to the divorce rate and why that's happening. Now, I was talking to Damon. Damon has a body type. He said, I do not date women this shape. I'm gonna let him explain that, and I'm gonna come in on the married man side. Go ahead, bro.
Well, so we all have our preference. I don't care what you're gonna say. We all have our preference, right? So when you meet a person, you approach that person. I don't care about personality and good job, and you approach that person based on what that person looks like, sex appeal or whatever the case may be. That's why you approach that woman. You're not approaching that woman. I'm not approaching that woman because I'm thinking of her. You know what we think about when we see women. And so now, the problem I have is, say I marry that woman, looking like she looks in 1989 or whatever. In 1992, due to children and all that, body shape changes, right? Nothing wrong with that. Still loves her, still loves the woman, but I wouldn't be sexually attracted to her anymore based on that's not what I was attracted to in the beginning. Still love her. Love does not get your penis erected. It has nothing to do with it. And I think for me being in a relationship, I have to be sexually attracted to a woman. You have to have sex. Sex is part of a relationship. Whatever y'all gonna say, I'm gonna read it. But sex is sex, then everything else. God, church, whatever. Sex is important because that's what, in a relationship, again, I was 19 when I got married, so I don't understand it at 50. I was a kid, so I don't understand marriage as an adult. I don't think that you should be having, I don't have possession. I don't try to stack women. You know, I just try to be happy. I'm just trying to be happy in my life. Not saying my guy's don't want to be happy in his life. Pretty sure he does. But when the body changes, so does the love, the sex interest change. I mean, for you women out there who think, I had a conversation with a young lady, and nothing is wrong with her man. Nothing. No high blood pressure, no prostate cancer, nothing. But she said he has erectile dysfunction. I said he's just not attracted to you anymore, because there's no illness and he's not getting an erection. He's not attracted to you anymore. You don't look like you looked when y'all first started dating. So she got comfortable, complacent, and changed all that. Well, and he's no longer attracted to her. So I was fussed at and called disrespectful for saying that. Probably got the guy in trouble. I told the lady, I said, but if you put that your original body type in front of him, he'll get an erection. But anyway, so what's your take on?
Well, I think that's
30 years.
That's a real issue. Of course, when we're not as small as we were. I think when I met my wife, she was a size 4'6", very small young lady. And myself, I was about 5'7". I'm now 5'10". So we were small when we grew. But I think that's also part of the issue, is that, desire, wanting to desire, feel that desire, and that does get lost. Now, I'm going to agree, I'm sorry, ladies, but yeah, I think that there should be some way to maintain that desirability to your husband. And I understand raising children, full-time jobs, but I'm not attracted to a certain body type either. And if you develop into that body type, that's not one I want, right? But if I was there for the ride, meaning I was there for the body change, okay, I'm here with you. I saw what took place, what we did, and how we got here. But that doesn't change the fact that that's not what I like. And so what men start to do is they start to look at what they like. And so you brothers cut the eye, look at this, look this way, only because a lack of communication. Like, have those conversations. Hey, you're getting over the meter. Hey, this is not, hey, come on now. We do and we don't. We have them, but we don't have them. And normally when we have them, they're in a negative way. But again, I'm going to agree with this, brother. There's a certain body type that I'm attracted to that arouses me. And when I see it, I like it, right? And so I do think that married women take the relationship for granted and everything that comes with the relationship, and they use it as an excuse to let themselves go. You hear married men, my wife is guilty of this. I love you, honey, but I'm putting you out there. Having your babies did this? Yeah, right. We don't have babies. So, that's an excuse you often hear. So again, I'm gonna have to agree with that brother that I think that being in a relationship is not an excuse to not remain desirable to your man in the way that he wants you to. Now, Damon spoke on sex. He said, hey, that we having sex, we not good. Well, he's not married, man. Because when you're raising children and you're also involved in life, right? And like I said, we had 3 and they all participated in sports and it pulled us in multiple directions and drop off this kid here, there, come home, cook, do this, do those things, get people ready for bed, did you do some homework and all those things in between. And so after all that, you yourself is probably going to sleep. So you take a back seat to a lot of those things. But that's not a pass, right? And I think, again, that some married women, because nothing is 100%. So nothing that we're saying fits 100% of anything. That's a false narrative. We're not 100% the same. It's just not that way. But I think a lot of women use that as an excuse. I'm tired, I'm this. Again, what you choose to neglect, you're neglecting what someone else will feel. So you got to keep that in mind, is that, even though we all have those things that we're dealing with, but at the end of the day, you still have to remember the primary goal is your husband. We lose sight of that. And I know who's ever listened, like my husband, yes, the children are a byproduct of me and you. We were first. So I understand that we were first and then we come second and third because we're building, because the goal is healthy children. So I understand that. But you still can't lose sight of what was first. And that's husband and wife. And what is second is the children. But we reversed those roles. And I was guilty of that. We put our children first. We worked hard for our children. We wanted healthy children. So we worked hard for that. But again, a lot of times you accepted neglect or not being prioritized because of children. That didn't make it right. But that's just what it is. And so a lot of times he's talking about he has to have sex. Yeah. Well, you're going to get two kinds of sex when you're married. You're going to get two can have fun or one. Married brothers know what I'm talking about.
So that's why I'm single. Let me ask you this. And that's another thing right there. All that to say, I'm not going to go to the amusement park to not have fun. So I'm not, why would I be in something, and I'm not religious, so now he was a devout Muslim. Devout, so.
Very dogmatic.
Right, man.
28 years of my life, it defined me and the raising of my children and the interaction between me and my wife.
Are you still a devout?
I'm on a different journey. That journey served me well. It matured me. It made me strong. It gave me tremendous things.
That's not what I asked.
I'm more of a universal thinker now than I am a man-made or any type of religion. No.
Okay. Now, my thing is when being in this. Now you can. So in the Muslim, in the Islam religion, right? You can have multiple wives. Now, widest brothers. Anyway, you can have them. So I was thinking about, because those women, the women that you marry that are Muslim women, okay, they accept that. Our westernized women don't accept that.
But that happens, right? So you don't know you're not accepting men, Sharon.
I have situations. I have situations. So I'm happy with my situation, and my situation are happy with their situation. Nobody. So first of all, let me tell you who I am. My name is Damon Ousley. I'm a builder. I'm a retired contractor. I'm an investor. So I'm single, live by myself. I have 11 children by. Not bragging, but I had 12 children, but I'm not bragging, by 9 women. That's when I was younger. I had my last child at 30. I'm 54. He's 20. Junior's 24. He'll be 24 in August. My oldest daughter passed away, so I have 11 living children, and they all know each other. We had this conversation with me last Sunday. They all know each other very well. They all know each other's grandparents, so on and so forth. So I raised my children together. He knows all of them. By the way, this is my cousin-in-law. Before I died, we thought he was my brother. But
hey, don't feel bad. My mother, she's supposed to know. At me and his cousin's wedding, she said, he could be your brother. You're supposed to know.
But Lau and I we're like brothers. We conversate more than if they get a divorce, I'm gonna go with him.
You got to know my wife.
Nah, that's my little cousin. I love her to death, sweet as can be. But on Leslie's 50th birthday, she's older than him. On her 50th birthday, Bilal was the DJ. And my son, my middle son was there. And he said, man, looking at their relationship made him say, I want to be married, right? So my children grew up, my son especially grew up with me in a house. My sons live with me with no woman being involved. So he sees Bilal interacting with his cousin Leslie, and like that made him like, man, I want to get married. And I said, listen, this, like my biggest thing, and I know I'm here when he gonna die alone. My mama died with me, my sister, my grandmother died with all of us. So that dying alone thing, that don't faze me. I got enough children. I got 8 daughters. I'm good. 7 daughters. I'm good, and 2 stepdaughters that love me just like my daughter. So I'm good. And a niece. So I'm good. My sons might bail out on me, but my daughter's gonna be there. But B makes marriage, if you're just looking at it, because he's not gonna, go around telling people the inner actors, whatever disappointments or whatever he has going on. He talks to me now, he's talking to you guys. But he makes marriage looks doable. This is the best marriage couple. This is a hell of a marriage couple, and he's Muslim, and a lot of it had to do with his religion, right? And so he's because he comes to me, talks to me about my cousin, right? I'd be like, man, why, man, divorce her, I ain't nowhere in the world, me, because I'm not accustomed to, I'm the man. People gonna say alpha male, beta male, all that. Whatever the top alpha male, we gonna go with that. I'm that. It's gonna be my way. Or you can find somebody else to date. I'm not being arrogant. If we're not gonna be happy, I'm not gonna be with somebody that's not happy. I'm not coming over your house to be unhappy. So being in marriage, you have to come home. I have to come home, right? And if she's unhappy, I'm stuck with you. I can't leave. I can't go home. If my female is unhappy, is mad about something, or whatever reason, I can go home, or she can go home, or just don't come around me. He doesn't have that luxury. He has to come home to whatever the situation is, because I don't get angry. I'm not gonna stress myself out. If you're upset with me, then I'm gonna get off the phone with you or talk to you tomorrow. And if you're still upset with me, you gotta call me. I'm not gonna be upset with you when you're upset at me. I'm not upset at you. And if I am upset at you, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, and that's what's gonna be. So, hey, you, whatever, this is the problem. And if it's gonna continue to be a problem, we're not gonna continue to be in a relationship. I protect my peace. I don't think being married can protect my peace. I heard people say all the time, if you had anybody, I can ask 10 married men, and they all gonna say, marriage you have to work on it. Yeah. Why? I don't work hard. No, I'm not gonna work hard to be with no, I'm not gonna do it. Why we just can't be happy? Why we just can't automatically, why we gotta work on being happy? Gotta compromise. Why I gotta compromise? Why I gotta why I can't go to sleep with the TV on? Because you don't want to go, then no, I'm not, that's interfering with my peace. I'm not gonna compromise. We can be boyfriend and girlfriend when I'm 54. We can be boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever we need to be. You at your house, because it's all about sex. Come around me when you want sex, when you want companionship. There's no way that you want companionship 24 hours a day. I don't even understand that. My grandparents did not sleep in the same. Of course, they were old when I met them. When I was a kid, my grandparents were old. They did not sleep in the same room. They slept in the same room. When we went down there, they stayed in the country, tap open home. When we went down there for the summer, they had a 2-bedroom. We slept in my grandfather's room, and he slept with my grandmother. and he was miserable.
Let me interject. Side note. It's hard sleeping with my wife now
50.
because temperature differences. That's all I want to say. Temperature differences, okay? Hot, cold, temperature differences make it tough. Like, hey, listen, I'm dying in here. Hey, it's too hot in here. Hey, it's too damn cold in here. So temperature difference is one reason they could run the brother upstairs.
Right, I wasn't gonna say it, but he sleeps. He sleeps.
Temperature difference.
They got a 5-bedroom house. They got 1 child living at home. 3 bed. Well, then my aunt and his mother-in-law. So 5-bedroom house, 1 child living at home, my mother-in-law, and he sleeps in a room. And then my room, of course, I got a room because I'm always over it. So all 5 rooms are occupied. And he's young. I mean, he's 52. He's young and he don't sleep. He's not comfortable sleeping with his wife. And this is he got
Hold on.
70 more years, 20 more years.
Let's define
30.
comfortable. Now, what I was saying is that it was actually a joke that didn't go over well. My wife likes the room a certain temperature.
He's still uncomfortable.
And that temperature does not agree with me. Like, man, it's too lit. It's either too this or too. I'm like, is this? I can't take it.
Uncomfortable.
You know what I'm saying? So temperature changes is but Damon.
I said that.
Right.
I said
You're submissive to your wife. So there has to be an understanding, right? Once there was children brought into our marriage, there was no ifs, ands, and buts about it that I was not going to finish the task. I was going to be there at whatever I had to endure to raise my children. That became our focal point, right? Our differences growing up strained our marriage, right? We had a difference in philosophy. And a lot of times those differences, we butted heads with how we should raise young people. But I knew that I was not going anywhere because the commitment to my family was first. So when I took that to heart. I always say my wife benefited from my relationship with God. It wasn't that my wife was so special that I worshiped her or anything like that. It was that at that point in my life, God was so special and I was fulfilling that commandment. And so my wife benefited from that. So, I just did all those things that I needed to do as a man because of that. But I think that those give you an example, as I stated, as a Muslim. So there was no church, there was no this, there was no that. Well, the black church, especially our age group, the golden age of the black church, religious ceremonies, Christmas, things of that nature. So I really wasn't big on those things, celebrating those things. So my wife had to scale those things down. We had a Christmas tree that was like 2 feet tall. No lights, no nothing, just really scaled down. I didn't drink, I still don't drink. No pork in the house, my wife changed her diet. So she sacrificed a whole lot to be with me and vice versa. And I think those sacrifices created some bitter and some animosity, and that made our struggle and our relationship harder than it needed to be had we communicated. But as far as the beta male, you look at it, so Damon says this all the time about me and his son. He calls us just all kind of things. But yeah, I did 90% of the cooking at my house. I did 90%, 100% with her, with my wife, shopping, things of that nature, dressing. So we had sons, right? So I would iron the clothes for one, she'd iron the clothes for the other. We tag team, or I'll iron his clothes for the week, you iron his clothes for the week. We just teamed up, we'll get the lunches ready. So Damon sees all that as beta male, this and that. But I just saw that as cooperative partnership in our marriage and our commitment to our children. And so because our commitment to our children we focused on that, and we started to kind of lose some focus on us, right? Because it became the children's children. And women are really good at that. They can put everything into that. And so after that goal, with the children being raised, now our new focus is switching to us, like me and you. it's me now. And I'm telling my wife, I want to be totally selfish. I want to get rid of the dog. I want to do nothing. I want it to just be me. Just me. She's hearing me, but she's not hearing me. So if this woman out there listening, your husband is telling you, this is what I need. Listen to your husband. Listen to your husband. This is what I want. I want it to just be me and you. I'm selfish now. I was third, fourth, and fifth in our relationship because of our children, and our mother has some issues, health issues. So I was cool with the back seat because the goal was the children. Now I'm front and center, and we have to redefine and pivot that because I'm selfish. Now I'm turning it there. So now all I want is what I want, and I don't want to get them on that. So now we're again, right? Because I'm not compromising. I want all of her all the time. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. I've shared you too long, and now it's all about me. And so switching from that to, hey, it's all about me now. I know that sounds selfish, but that's what I want. Period.
So how is that being selfish when you ask them, I don't know, I just asked somebody to marry me. I really don't understand marriage. I'm clueless to it. So you marry somebody you're sexually attracted to, and then you don't get to have sex all the time. What contract? That's a crazy contract. And then if you leave her, she gets half of your stuff. Now, okay, I could marry Oprah Winfrey, which I wouldn't because she's not my type. But just say somebody with that Oprah Winfrey, because she's wealthy. I'm still the man of the house. The decisions, all that they are. No, that's why I can't get married. No, I'm the man of this house. I don't know what any other species other than a bee and an ant where the male is not the head of the house. I'm not under the lion, the tiger, the gorilla. I don't know any other species. If you do, tell me. And I ain't not no dogs. They don't count. But I'm not understanding how that's happy. I'm gonna sacrifice my happiness to make her. I'm the dominant to make her happy. And I don't want you all to know, if a female thinks you're dominant, then she's not for me. I'm not talking to you, so push on. But I'm on submissive women in my life. Now, I asked the young lady, I was invited to dinner, because I eat out every night. So I come over to eat and asked her, I sit at a table and her family making plates. So I'm waiting for my plate to be made. And she asked me, was I going to eat? Got up and left to go get me something to eat. If I'm going to make my own plate, I can do that. I can go to Church's Chicken and get my plate. Somebody gonna make fun of me head out the window. I'm going about my business. You invited me over, and you're gonna make my plate. I'm not a chauvinist at all, but in my relationships, I do all the man stuff. I got partners. I got homeboys. We go on trips, and they would not pay for the plane ticket to the woman. I got a lot of brothers like, I ain't gonna pay for the plane ticket. I'm gonna do all of that. If you're dealing with me, you getting the whole thing. You ain't got to worry about. I'm not gonna change your oil. But hey, come on, let's go to the door. No, I got you. So you're supposed to have me. Period. Period. Sex. Making my plate. I eat out all the time, but if I'm coming to your house for your family function, and you asking me, and I'm sitting at the table, and everybody's got a plate, and you asking me, am I not eating? And then when I have asked her to make the plate, she gave me that look like, yeah. Well, I had asked her one time. I said, why do you have a problem with making me a plate? Her response was, I really don't. I don't know why I respond like that. Well, this is why you respond like that. Because you grew up in a house without a father. Women that are, and I'm saying this, if any brother listening, I don't see any on here. if any brothers on here and listening, do not marry. You can date whomever you want. Do not marry a woman that didn't grow up in the house with a man because she don't know what that relationship looks like. And if she grew up in the house and her father was abusive and her parent, because she don't think she's gonna be lost on that. And if her mother was abusive toward the father, meaning I have an aunt who I lived with them briefly, and I woke up, went to sleep, hearing her cuss this man out. She was the alpha male in that relationship, and he wasn't a punk. He just took it, and I can understand, why are you taking this? Why are you sitting here letting this woman talk to you like she's talking to you? Well, my cousin grew up around that, so she don't think a man can tell her anything. So her husband is having some issues because she's not going to be submissive. She will in some cases, but I need you to be submissive. I'm the man. Let me be the man. You get to be the woman, and I'm going back to that sex thing. I don't. That's the number one thing in a relationship. When y'all start, no, they're not. No, they're no.
I think what you do is that you justify as a married man why you're not getting these things, and that justification becomes the children, right? So you accept that we're partnershiping in this direction, and so because of that, this and that, we fall into this routine. So you just kind of project that the kids, we're tired, the kids, you're tired, the kids, I saw you go do this, the kids. But you're still like, okay, so what time of your day is to me? How much of your day are you dedicating to me? At what time of the day? And then, so at the same time, you're saying that, but then your wife is saying, what time of the day do I dedicate to me? Meaning her, yourself, me. When do I get to take 5? When do I get? So you're constantly wearing these hats. So my wife's a teacher, so she's wearing the teacher hat. Then she comes home, she's wearing the parent hat. And then she's wearing the clean up the house hat. So she's wearing these things. And then she has to put on the wife hat, right? And so notice that hat was left, right? And so how much more time do you have or energy do you have when you put that hat on, right? And so you just kind of fall into that.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for sharing this hour with us. Hopefully you guys gained some insight. Again, my name is Belial.
And I'm the old guy.
I'm married.
And I'm not.
Thank you very much.